What up, guys? Anis the noble gamer here. One Darius. Let's turn off. Okay, let's preface this by looking at both teams and calculating the win condition. Climbing low elo is fundamentally different from climbing high elo, because in low elo nobody knows their win condition. So the way to climb in low elo is just knowing your win condition and playing to it. That's it. There's nothing more to it. In high elo and a diamond plus, everybody knows their win condition. So whoever wins is just who plays better to it. So your win condition this game at Darius and Tenacis is to bully the garbage out of him. He needs to leave a laning phase with down 20 to 30 SCS. That should be your goal, because the only way Nasus wins is as soon as Nasus gets a Trinity Force or Iceborne, a Gauntlet, and Tabbies, you lose. You get a shit on. If you break even in a laning phase, Nasus will dumpster you as a Darius. But luckily, as Darius, you have literally one of the best laning phases into a melee champs, other than a GP and Jace. So taking a gander at their team, Vayne, Nasus, garbage early game. Bot lane should win lane, is especially with a Leona. Aurelion Sol, a mid game champ. A Fizzkin, a dumpster. Aurelion Sol at a level 6, but luckily before then he should be roaming before level 6 due to his amazing shove. One of the best pre-6 shoves in the game. A Shaco. I don't know how the matchup works for a jungle. All I know is that he is a mid game champ and he gets fed early. So the point is that their team is ticking a time bomb. They have the scaling comp, so they're gonna past a 35 minutes, I think you lose. I'm just being honest. So whether you lose or not this game, whether it was a winnable or not, is not important. What's important is that you learn from your mistakes and that you played to the best of your ability. So let's speed this up. I don't care what I don't care what your team is doing. Directed camera. How do I turn this off? Okay, it's off now. All right. So with what I just prefaced, I'm gonna walk into a laning phase, and let's look at your passive. You got Q, and you obviously have your passive. You literally gain like a BF sword off your passive. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk in the lane and just auto Nasus. Auto him. As soon as he gets out of range, Q him, and then maybe if you're in range, go for another auto. You're essentially gonna say to Nasus, "Hey, I have a bigger dick than you, and I'm gonna have a bigger dick than you so long as you don't scale." Your win condition for this lane is him not stacking. That's it. You're gonna build. So you took Doran Shield. I would have been greedy this game and taken a Doran's Blade, because I would just be autoing Nasus over and over again. He's not gonna do a shit to you. He's garbage early. He's not gonna do a shit to you unless he Emaxes, but I don't see Emax Nasus anymore. So I would have gotten a Doran's Blade and I would have just bullied him out of lane. I would have shoved. I would have bullied. And then after that initial shove, I would be looking to freeze. So yeah, take into consideration that a Doran's Blade also gives you 80 HP as well. The only reason to take a Doran's Shield over a Doran's Blade is for the passive into arranged matchups like a Jason Gnar, but you're not up against a Jason Gnar. You're up against a Nasus who is literally a sponge, a Periphera early. pre Sheen and pre Tabbies. As long as Nasus doesn't have those two items, he can in no way contest a Darius whatsoever. Even then, as long as you played the lane correctly, and you should be up SCS or a kill. And remember, a kill is a 13 SCS. So I would be building Phage into Tabbies probably. I'd probably be doing that. Phage, let's take a gander at their team comp. Fizz has a chance to get big after 6, and Nidalee is also a mid game champion. She's similar to Asheka, so I'd be going Black Cleaver into a Spirit Visage, and then Vayne and Nasus. Nasus has a chance to not scale if you just stay top lane, but because you have a Jinx bot lane and Jinx and Leona, they're likely going to be taking a bot tower first. So that opens up a possibility to after you take top and your team groups mid, you're going to go bot. That's what you're going to do. Okay. What was I talking about? I was talking about how, okay, so your build. So I would be building Black Cleaver into Tabbies into a Spirit Visage, and then Vayne is gonna eventually scale. So a Deadman's and then a Randuin's, and then you decide your last item. So right off the bat, you should be autoing the wave, a shoving. Okay, so you walked up to a pressure on Nasus off of this creep. I like that. This is good by you. Okay, you're pressuring him. I like it, and you fuck with them. This is exactly what you should be doing as Darius. When Nasus goes for SCS, I just want you to fuck with them. So you gained a minion aggro now. He's out of range. Maybe I would walk him out of a minion range, but the creeps are aggroing him onto you right now, and you're not guaranteed another auto attack because you're out of range. So what I would do is I'll walk in the bush to drop aggro, and then I'll go back to not only a fucking with a Nasus, but perfectly SCSing, because if you don't SCS well, then Nasus will eventually shit on you. I promise you that. As soon as he auto him, I like it. If you're autoing him to miss a creep, in my opinion, because it's literally this early in the game, and a Trinity Force cost at 3,733 gold, whereas a Black Cleaver, if I remember correctly, cost around 3,000 gold. So it's actually more worth it for you to pressure him off SCS than for you to SCS perfectly. So that kind of so I'm kind of hypocritical of my previous statement about SCSing perfectly with Darius, but that should be your goal, to bully Nasus. So you're doing a great job of it so far. Just a level 1 off of the first few creeps. Pressure him. I like it. Q him. Fuck with them. Nice. So with the phase rush active, you have enough movement speed to get another auto hoff. And then you could potentially go for another auto, just barely. I think you can make it, and then get your 5 stacks off. But I mean, this is fine. So far, you're on the right track. You have the right mindset. A level 2, you fucked up. What did you take? You took E. Okay, you were in apprehend range. What you should have done? Control E, apprehend, and then you could get a good 1 to 2 autos, Q, and then maybe another auto. And that would have chunked him for so much. He couldn't SCS after that safely without dying. So you missed an opportunity there. That's part of a low elo. That's why low elo players are low elo, because they miss opportunities. But to be fair, it's not their fault, because they don't know what those opportunities are. People climb because they start realizing their mistakes and are realizing the opportunities they miss. That's why players like to review their own VODs. He's level 2. You're shoving. Good job. Well, you're not shoving, but you're pushing. Aurelian gets first blood. Nice. You need to be pressuring him more. Like I'm not exaggerating when I say every single SCS as Darius. Like, I want you to make this Nasus and never wish he picked that champ. I don't know if you blind picked a Nasus into Darius or whatever, but it was not a good idea, that's for sure. Because you should be royally shitting in Nasus's mouth. Okay? Fuck with them. Good job. Another auto. Auto him to tower. Good job. Don't back off here. I saw you backed off. You weren't in a tower range. You could have gone for another auto. Q. You go level 3. Good job. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This wave is gonna crash around here, and you back. I would be a little scared of an Italy. So you walk into tower. Okay, that's good. And Italy shows mid, so I wouldn't be scared anymore. Okay, so we're at minutes. We're at around 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So I'm gonna go back. I realized something. So in this lane, what I want you to realize when bullying a Nasus is that you could actually like auto him all the way to tower, especially right here. I noticed that you autoed him and then like backed off, and only when he went for CS only did you then fuck with him a bit more. But I guarantee that you can actually just auto Nasus all the way to tower, and because the minions are going to be aggroing onto you and your minions are going to be pushing, it's going to push at the same time. So you'll be killing two birds with one stone. You're essentially telling Nasus that you have a bigger dick than him. Just auto him to tower. He will lose a big portion of his health around down to here, and that's really and that's Nasus's lose condition is to lose his health, is to lose his HP pool, because what Nasus wants to do is farm under tower for him to take as little harass as possible and farm under tower with a high enough HP pool to where you can't dive him. That's his win condition. So let's go back to 3 minutes. Okay. So let's see what you buy here. You buy a ruby crystal, so a Kindle gem. I don't know if I like the Kindle gem. Okay, and a longsword. So you're going for phage, which is completely fine. What I would have done, personally, I would have gotten a Doran's blade, a Doran's shield. Nasus will never fight you ever. He will never be able to contest you. You can 2v1. I guarantee you can 2v1 with a Doran's shield, a Doran's blade. Not that you couldn't with a ruby crystal and a longsword. In fact, it completes your black cleaver faster. But I would have just gone for the Doran's blade personally for just that extra little bit of a lane pressure. So look at this. So the middle of the lane is right here. Right now there are 3 casters, 3 melees, 3 casters. So the lane is even, but it's on his side of the lane. So what that means is that the lane is going to push towards you. What I would be, so as I'm walking back to lane, what I would be thinking is, okay, I'm going to let Nasus push a bit more. I'm not going to fuck with him. And I'm going to freeze as soon as he gets like a creep lead on me. I just freeze. And I would do that by when it gets to like around here, as long as it's on your side of the wave, you're safe from a ganks. You would ward a tri push, and you would just and as soon as Nasus would be forced to try to break the freeze with his E. He would have to expend a mana, and he wouldn't even reliably get the gold. He would get the XP. You could actually even if you freeze the wave right here, and his wave is like right here, you can stand in between his wave and him, so he doesn't get the XP. Obviously, you wouldn't get the gold for the creeps, but you would get the XP, and he wouldn't get the XP nor the gold. But since you're a tank, gold is more important than XP because you just want raw stats. You just want HP, armor, and a magic resist after a black cleaver because you're a tank. You just need stats. I mean stats. Like if I was playing a Riven into a Nasus, gold isn't as important. XP is more important on skirmishers. So I would be actually trying to zone him off the XP, but because you're at Darius, gold is a little more important because you need items. Like you need a black cleaver as fast as possible. You need the spear visage. You need the tabbies. You need the deadmans. You need the ranuans. And Nasus needs either Triforce or Iceborne. Now the thing with a Nasus, he can go Iceborne, and let's see, you took Ghost. So I was arguing with you the other day about taking Ghost over Teleport. I said that a Teleport was a better, but in this situation, yes, Ghost would be a better because I'll look at their team. Vayne can kite you. Nasus can kite you with a Wither and Iceborne a Gauntlet. So as long as you have Ghost, you're fine. Like when it gets to the later stages of the game, as long as you have Ghost, you can split. Like that's your condition for splitting. If Ghost is off a cooldown, and Nasus can just Wither, and then he can shut you down with it with a member of his team like Vayne. Vayne, Lulu, and Nasus can shut you down. Obviously, a 3v1. So yes, Ghost would be a better over a Teleport here. So I like it. Is what I'm trying to say. So I was saying that you should be prepared to freeze, but a shoving and a bullying at the same time isn't bad either. It's just not optimal because Nasus wants to be shoved in. He wants to farm under tower. In fact, the best outcome for a Nasus is if he gets a freeze going here. Like you can accidentally freeze yourself right here all the time. It happens all the time. Like let's say a wave meets in the middle and you're shoving, and then all his minions die, and then your minions are pushing, and then his second minion wave comes up, and they meet right here, and then he can just freeze it as and by a freeze I don't mean perma freeze. I mean like for at least 2 waves. For at least 2 waves you're gonna be vulnerable to a ganks by an Italy and Fizz if it freezes right here. So Nasus wants to have the wave on his side of the map. So I would be going for a freeze, but shoving isn't terrible because with a shoving you can you can roam for wards for information on their side of the jungle. I think Shaco could use information as well as Aurelion Soul on where an Italy is. Also, it benefits your bot lane as well, because if bot lane knows an Italy is doing Gromp, they can go aggro on Vayne and Lulu. So I need a drink. Okay, you're going to fuck with them. I like it. I like it a lot. So he withers you. So you can't get the Q off. It's fine. That's bad. You just queued the wave. It's going to push now. I mean, it's not bad. It's just I noticed you're not trying to freeze now. So you should be now trying to bully him off the CS, shove, and then I'll look for a roam. So right here's a cannon wave. I notice you're walking up to him, so I know you're about to do it, which is good. People tend to commit more to cannon waves because they offer a lot more gold than regular minions. So I like how you're pressuring him off the cannon. That's good by you. Yeah. I go for a big trade. He loses health. I noticed Shaco is coming up. This is a kill, guaranteed. Good job. Okay, you shove now. Nasus doesn't have... Nasus has TP? Wait, didn't Nasus... I guess he didn't use TP. I wasn't paying attention. So Nasus has TP. So you're gonna shove, and then you're gonna back, and you're gonna back for likely to finish phase, and then because Darius is an immobile champ, he doesn't have any mobility other than Ghost, which can potentially be put off cooldown for 3 minutes. You want boots before 7 minutes. Like, that should be your goal. At least tier 1 boots before 7 minutes. I would actually be going Phage into Tabbies, just so that Nasus has absolutely no way of killing you ever in any situation. Actually, with Tabbies, you can even fuck with him under tower because tower shots do attack damage. So you would actually be taking a lot less tower damage with Tabbies as well, and you could easily 2v1 because Italy does have a ranged auto attacks that she weaves in. As long as she misses her spear, her damage after her rotation of her cougar spells, it's just auto attacks. So you push here, liking it. So overall, you've done a very good job so far. You know, so you didn't freeze, which wasn't optimal, but you got a kill out of it. Now you shouldn't be saying, okay, I got a kill out of it. I should do it every single time against Nasus now. No, you only got a kill there because the jungler was there. If Nasus didn't have flash, you would have got a kill there anyway. I think. I don't know if he was out of range for another auto and then like another Q or a W if it was off a cooldown even. But you shouldn't be shoving every time just because you got results. Results are not what's important. It's about consistency. You're lucky that Shaco was there to finish off the kill. So you're autoing the tower. I would be pressing tab to know when Nasus is about to come back up. The thing with mid and bot is that I mean mid and top is that towers have extra armor, or they have extra resistances before I think like 5 or 6 minutes. Bot lane doesn't have that. That's why towers usually die bot first, because attack damage carries shred towers, and bot towers don't have armor before they don't have extra resistances before 6 minutes. So as soon as Anasis comes up, I would be backing here, which you do, which is good. So so everything you've done so far is good. I like it. So Nasus still doesn't TP back. He holds his TP. Let's see what you buy. Buy Phage, refillable, and that's probably all you have money for. So now you have a sustain. Nasus comes back with a Sapphire, a Crystal. He's building towards Sheen rather than Tabbies. He should be going for Tabbies, but he's building towards Sheen, which is really greedy of him because he's getting absolutely a dumpstered on. Actually, not quite. He is only down 4 SCS, but after he autos this creep and then a last hit these, he will actually be even in SCS with you, which is not ideal. He should be down SCS at this point. Now, I know what you may be thinking, but I pressured him off all the CS and I got a damage out off of him. That's why a freezing is so potent in a low elo, because laners can just be shut down. Freezing in low elo is so effective because low elo newbies don't know how to break it. And Nasus would have to constantly burn E, and if you have Tabbies, you don't take any damage from the minions, so you can just trim the wave and freeze it more. So right now, let's look at our lanes. We don't know where Nidalee is, and I'm assuming we're just gonna be, based on how you played just now, you're probably going to be shoving into Nasus again. So I would be dropping a ward right here. You have a yellow trinket. I noticed you haven't dropped a ward the whole laning phase, which is bad. Like after your first wave after his first wave dies and his second wave crashes with your first wave, during that a period of time where his minions are dead, you should be quickly, and this should take like less than 5 seconds, just walking down for if you're desperate about CS, a max range yellow trinket, or a deeper ward right here, or if you even have a lot of time, a ward right here is really good as well. Although it doesn't take into account a plant coverage. And that's probably what Nidalee would use to gank you anyways. So I think Shaco dropped this ward right here. I think, because I don't remember seeing you ward. So this is where you want to ward, and Shaco isn't on your side. Shaco isn't on your side of the map, so you want to be dropping a ward right here for sure, but you won't. Yeah, you don't. Okay. So you're shoving in. Good job. Okay, you're a kind of standing around with your a dick in your hand, just letting the pot tick. What you should be doing is you should be going around here. You should be going here and placing a ward right here. You know that Nidalee is mid, so you want to place a ward right here, and you want to take this plant as well. You want to burn the plant, and instead of just waiting for the wave. Yeah, at least go for a Q. Wait, what you're doing. You may all in him right here. A level 6. Good job. Beautiful. You're gonna shove, and now you're gonna get damage on the tower. He's gonna burn TP, and then you're gonna back. You're gonna back off. In fact, I would preferably back off at our yeah, because he has TP. Okay, a good job. That was nice. So far, everything has gone well. It's just that I would have really opted for a freeze, you know? And in that situation, like when I was talking about freezing, you wouldn't bully him at all. You would just let him SDS until he has at least 4 more minions on his size, and then you would go into bully him off the farm. Just make sure that in the future, as a Darius, when you're trying to freeze, and then at that moment when you're trying to freeze and you're bullying your laner off the farm, such as Nasus, don't make sure your Q doesn't hit the wave as well, so it pushes. Then that breaks the freeze. You wanna like you wanna auto him off the wave, and then be sure you're not in range to Q the wave. Just in the future. I'd be looking at the waves. Alright, he got shit on. Expected. So Fizz is getting big, and Italy is kind of getting big. Vayne is 2-0. Wow. But again, your teammates don't matter. I don't give a fuck about my teammates in elo elo. I just be trying to get big early. And right now, you're pretty big. Okay, you're queuing the wave, so going for a shove. See, a freezing is good. A shoving is fine as long as you're roaming as well. And when you're killing him, he hasn't burned TP the whole game, which is actually very interesting. In the future, when your opposing laners don't like the burn TP, after you kill them, I want you, like, okay, so in that all-in, it wasn't as clean as it should have been. Like, I could have harped on the a micro, but I didn't. If I harped on a micro, you could have had an all-in, which you would have had a bigger HP pool to where you could have shoved in another wave if Nasus didn't burn TP and then autoed the tower. That would actually compel Nasus to TP. So Nasus not TPing is basically disrespecting you. He's saying you're not autoing the tower, so there's no need to TP. And that's literally like your goal. If you're not a freezing, you're either a shoving and roaming, or you're killing him and hitting the tower. So what we do here. This Nasus is a fucking idiot. And I would be honestly baffled. Like, I would literally be astonished if this Nasus was plat. Like, actually astonished. Because this Nasus is like a sponge. You're lucky to be getting these huge trades off to where you can, to the point where he has such a low HP pool that you can just dive him under tower. So that's why. So not only is freezing better here, but it's more consistent. Like, your way of shoving and killing him, it only works against sponges. Like, he's literally in echinoderm. He has no brain. He's a sea urchin. Nasus has 66 stacks. That's more than he should have. Just keep that in mind. So suddenly, come to the game. What I would be thinking is, of course, I can 2v1. That's for sure. So in Italy, fucks with you. She goes back to the brush. So your ultimate goal as a Darius and as a top laner in a general as a split pusher is to draw pressure, because so long as you're top lane and you're in the same lane as a Nasus is not gonna have a good time. He's so in Italy is top. That's a good for you. You should be jumping for joy, because that alleviates the pressure mid and bot or for your team. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna drag out this fight to where an Italy has to stay as long as possible, and right after an Italy leaves, if you have a high enough HP, if you didn't fuck up the fight too badly, you're gonna have a high enough HP pool to where you're gonna be able to pressure Nasus and thus hit his tower again. Very nice. Okay, you pop Ghost. I would be popping Ghost to be getting a 5 stacks on a Nasus, killing him and then killing her, because your passive, it gives you like 1,000,000 AD. So right as you get a 5 stacks, you kill Nasus easy. You know, in that time you spent running away, you could have gotten a couple autos off of Nasus, and then like one more W or Q if it came off cooldown, or if it didn't come off cooldown, another auto attack, and then as soon as you get 5 stacks, you Q both of them. That chunks an Italy, and then that brings a Nasus down to execute health. You ult him, and then you go back to fucking with an Italy. If she doesn't run away, you kill her. And then you get a damage off on the tower, because if Fizz is mid, bot is bot. So that's how you should have played it. By running away, you are alleviating the pressure off yourself, which is a pussy move, and Italy now has a chance to go back to pressuring Shaco's jungle, mid or bot. Okay, so you go back to fuck with Nasus. What a fucking idiot. So Aurelian is coming up. You're about to kill Nasus. So this is good by you. So I was saying that it was a pussy move for you to run. As soon as Italy backed off, you went in on a Nasus, which is a really good by you, because you just went right back to pressuring. Another auto? Nah. Yep. There you go. Now you shove and get a damage on the tower immediately. Or you should play unlocked to going on an Italy sooner. She dies here every single time. Like, she shouldn't live. This is disgusting by you. That auto ult was disgusting. I know. I think you still had like your passive up, like the 5 stacks on your passive to make your AD empowered. So you thought it would give a 5 stacks on the an Italy. I assume that was what was going through your mind. But again, I don't think the flash is needed, because you're I've been pausing a lot, and I think the cooldowns are fucked up on this. So I don't know if Ghost is really about to come off a cooldown. It's maybe I'm guessing it's probably at about halfway, because I've been pausing so much. You are a vegetable without flash and Ghost. Like you can get a 3-man really easily without those sums. So a burning flash is kind of huge. Just keep that in mind. Don't use it willy-nilly. I understand what you were trying to go for to get the 5 stacks on an Italy, but it just came off. But if it was still up, then you would have ulted her. Easy double. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna just auto the tower and force a Nasus to burn TP, because you have a very high HP pool now. And if Fizz comes in to fuck with you, okay. Oh gosh. Yikers. Do you have ult? If you had a flash there, you would have lived. So that flash was crucial in determining your death here. Was your ult off cooldown? I don't think it was. I think you still had your ult. Oh no, no, because you used it on Italy and she didn't die. You thought you had a 5 stacks up, so you were gonna use it on Italy. Ult her, it would have killed her, and then you probably could have killed a Fizz right there. But again, that flash was not worth it on Italy. So you don't get a damage on tower. Nasus will probably not burn TP. Sucks. And Fizz is gonna shove it in. So this is a hard game. So far let's see what you fucked up. You didn't fuck up hard. I think you just played the lane in a way that wasn't optimal. I think you should have froze, for sure. I think that's just it so far. When Asheko came around, you're lucky you got the kill, because Nasus just keeps on going for these terrible trades for just one bit of SCS. So let's see how you play from here on out. What does Nasus have? What did you build? Okay, you have a tier 1 boots and Black Cleaver, not terrible. I'd be going for a Tabbies, and then a Black Cleaver wouldn't be done, but it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna harp on you for this. Nasus has Sheen and no boots. Excellent. That is amazing. You're up. What is that? 20? You're up 20 CS. Okay, that's amazing. This is incredibly good. By you, but take this into a consideration. The lower elo you go, like most bronze, no, not even bronze, just most silvers and golds know how to play the laning phase, even plats. Like pretty much almost every elo except bronze knows how to play the laning phase. The problem comes into the mid game. Like plats don't know how to play late game, and silvers and golds don't know how to play the mid or late game. So let's see how you play this past a laning phase. So let's take a gander at towers. No towers so far. Okay. Bot lane's about to lose it. No, it's still healthy. This is still pretty healthy. He's about to die. All right. So Fizz is getting big, and Vayne is still a 2-0. So what would I be doing here? So after Nasus backs off this wave, I would CS this wave, and at this point, if I was freezing, I would stop freezing, because if Fizz is getting big, now my priority is to take this tower down. Because not only that, because if I was in your shoes, now I have a Black Cleaver, and I'm just gonna try to fuck with Nasus, shove him out, bully him off the lane, and take tower. That's what I would try to be doing, and then moving bot lane, because apparently Jinx and Leona don't know how to lane. Yikes, Eggers. Yeah, backs off. Don't know where he is, and Italy leaves. Ooh, oh, that's on their team. Dominating. Triple kill. That's actually a triple kill. It's wow. Alright. So yeah, this is definitely a Spirit Visage, a second item in this game, because Vayne doesn't even have a first item. Nasus is nowhere near a first item, and Fizz is huge. So this is a Spirit Visage game. Okay, your Nasus is backed off. That's good. You don't know where an Italy is? Dog. I wish I could ping this. You've had 2 trinkets this entire laning phase. You need to be. You're vulnerable here and here. You need to be placing your wards down. Amazing. Actually incredible. Don't walk into tower. Yeah, don't walk into tower. As a Darius, when your bleed is still up, you still aggro tower. So Nasus is out of lane. I would be scared of an Italy right now. I don't know, and Fizz. I don't know where a Fizz is. So if I'm here right now with 2 trinkets, I would be warding here because I have no clue where they are, and that's where I'm vulnerable. Yikes. Does he kill you? Nah. Okay, a good job. So now, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna ward here, and I'm gonna be a taking tower. Nasus still hasn't. This is terrible by you. Okay, wait. So Fizz could come up and kill you, but keep in mind, Fizz has to. So. Okay, so you're let's go back. Let's go back a bit. So you kill Nasus, that's fine. You have 1 trinket, and So if I was you right here at this time, I didn't ward here. I warded here to kill Nasus, and I did. So what I would be doing is I would be warding right here, and then pushing the wave for to get tower. If Fizz shows right here, and you're right here getting tower, smacking tower, you know you're probably not gonna 1v1 him, especially if he has ult. So you're gonna be pathing around here and taking the plant. It's probably still here. I haven't seen an Italy come top in forever now, so it's probably still here. This plant is probably still here. So you get out no matter what. Even if it wasn't here, so as long as Fizz is say Fizz is right here, you're smacking tower. He paths up here. As soon as he reaches this point, that is when you make a beeline to this tri-bush. Even if an Italy is there, as long as you do a quick combo on her, just like auto a W, kite back Q, and then go to the plant. As long as you do that combo, she's scared shitless because you're big, you're huge. She doesn't have any armor. That's gonna chunk her quite a bit. I promise you, as long as she doesn't hit, as long as she doesn't have her passive on you, she doesn't kill you. And your pot's ticking anyways, so the amount of time it takes for you to push this wave, smack tower, and go all the way to a tri-bush with your pot ticking, you're gonna be around you're gonna be pretty healthy enough to a 1v1er at least. So you have 1 trinket. You're losing SCS here. You're needlessly losing SCS here. So where is people? This is right here. He's pathing towards mid lane. So you weren't in any danger anyways. I mean, and I know that's not the point. You don't know, you were scared of Fizz. You didn't know where he was. You know, and maybe if I paid attention to the map more, I would know where Fizz is, but I don't. Still, it still holds. If Fizz paths from right here, you're still safe because you can dodge the ult. It's a pretty slow moving ult, I promise you. Like as long as your pot is ticking. Oh, it just ran out. Never mind. All right. But like at least one Q to push the wave, at least one, and then auto W the creep because you're needlessly missing SES right here. So you go for tabbies. All right, that's good. Nasus TP's in. Blue team double kill. So I wouldn't be worried about my team. They're feeding pretty hard. You're not. I'd just be going top lane. Because you can't hold a Vayne a Lulu. I know for a fact you can't. You're just going to be autoing the tower. So yeah, just go back top lane. At this, so again, like I was saying, right after I get a cleaver, I wouldn't be freezing anymore. So this is good by you because now that Fizz is getting big, Vayne is getting big, and Italy is getting big, I would be putting on my carry pants and now shoving, trying to kill Nasus, shoving, autoing tower. So this is good by you. I want you to kite the Q a bit better. Like getting that last a little bit of the Q, like you missed it twice. You could have gotten the 5 stacks earlier, but you kill Nasus nonetheless because he's a vegetable. Nice. Auto tower. You know that Vayne is bot. Again, use your trinket on this bush. Please. I want you to use this trinket on this bush. Alright. You knock down turret. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna type bot lane. Switch with me. And then you're gonna go bot. That's what you should be doing. Because right now, as it stands, with this turret knocked down, you're not as safe. Because look, if you're hovering around here, look at the mid lane. They still have their tower up, right? So this whole jungle is unwarded, and they have the potential to come and gank you, a 3-man you, and shut you down. If you go bot, look. If you're hovering around here, pushing. Oh, your tower's not up. What the fuck? Okay, it's still gonna be safer because you're gonna be pushing on this side of the map. Like on your side of the map rather than on their side of the map. Now, if Fizz was like 2-1 and Vayne lost lane like she should have, then I would stay top lane. But as long as bot lane just go, like bot lane should be going top and a freezing right here. A freezing for a CS, or at least Jinx. Let me consider this. What would I be doing here? That's not low. Yeah, I would just be going bot. You don't even have to say bot lane. Switch with me. Like Aurelion Sol could go top, and your bot lane goes mid, and then you go bot. You like in low elo gold. As long as you're fed, your team will listen to you. I promise you. Just say R, go top, bot, stay mid. Perma push bot. Bot. That's what I would be doing. So again, you don't use your ward on the tri-bush for ganks. Looking for potential ganks. So back here, probably for a Spectre's Cowl, you should be backing for a Spectre's Cowl. Or a Ruby Crystal and a Null Magic Mantle. What do you buy? What are you buying? A Ruby Crystal and a Longsword. I have no clue what you're buying. But you, like, what has... You should not be going for AD, like, any item that has AD. You should be itemizing for a defense. You have a lead, now you want to keep it. Like if you build offensively and you lose your lead, you lose the game automatically. I mean, this game was lost anyways, to my knowledge, but every game in a solo queue is just a gamble. It's just odds. By building offensively, like I know, like so you have a longsword and a ruby crystal, so it's not all offensive. Like it's a little bit of offensive, a little bit of defensive. But the more offensive items you build, especially on tanks, like a vanguards, like a Darius, you're lowering your odds of a success, because as Darius, you just need to build a defensive stats after a Black Cleaver. That's all you need. Fizz is huge right now. Fizz is huge. You already have tabbies for Vayne, so you just need to build a Spirit Visage. Nasus can't do a shit to you. Ooh. Where are you going, mid? What's happening here? There's no dragon, so what's going on? You're coordinating a 5-man gank bot? This is terrible by you. Why? Now, this is low elo, so literally fucking nothing is warded for. Actually, let's look. What's warded? Look at this. So I was wrong. This shit's warded. This shit's warded. This shit's warded. You're a 5-man a gank bot or whatever. It should never work ever. Like if you're not going to be a rotating, I would be going top to get this tower. If you're not a rotating bot. Let's see how it pans out. This shit never works. Yeah. After I missed that ult, just back off. Yeah. It was close. But it should not have been that close. Listen. Fizz, Vayne, Lulu. I mean, they don't have much wave clear, but if Fizz can pop 1E on the wave, under turret, bam, it's gone. That's wave clear. You're never gonna a 5-man siege this a turret, especially with how fed Fizz and Vayne are. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. This actually all happened because you didn't stay top. Like, so I know you don't know about rotations. Like, even I just learned our rotations. But even then, for a low elo, this would never work. You just need to stay top. If you're not rotating. Like, this is the next most optimal play. This was garbage. This was a shit by you, and this is where you lost the game. Close the door, okay? For real? No way. Yeah. They had words here. You could predict that they had words here. I mean, look at it. Like, they have bot tower, they have a mid tower, and their a support has an upgraded ward, a warding item. So you know, so you could like predict for a fact that they have wards in this jungle. So this this would never work. Their team is just so ahead, you know, that they could practically a 4v5. Because this is like a team, like my team holding me back sort of game. You should never group. You should always just stay top. And if you lose, it wasn't your fault. I promise you. But you should never blame your team. Like it's just that you had the bad hand. You know, you had the bad gamble that you got these teammates. You just needed to stay top. It would have increased your odds of a winning if you had any. But yeah, I could tell that's where you lost the game. Now, guess what? Nasus gets all this farm. Like a Nasus is jumping for a joy right now because he just got like 2 waves of free farm without a Darius being in his face, and now he's gonna smack around tower. If you were top, you would have been back to bullying a Nasus, and guess what? You would have pulled probably a couple of their teammates to you. So at least your team has a chance of taking in objective. That's what split pushing is, drawing pressure. So yeah, if you're not a rotating bot to pressure this tower, then you're staying top. But you're never grouping with your team, especially if there's no dragon coming up. Now there is, but there was none when you were pathing down over here. Like, as soon as you missed that ult on Vayne because Lulu shielded her, and she didn't have any stacks on her anyways, so she wasn't gonna die anyways. But as soon as you missed that, you should have backed, said, team, back off, don't fight, just farm, please. I'm gonna pressure top. I'm gonna draw 3 of your team to me so that you guys literally have a chance. You have a chance. But yeah, this was the big one. It's not your fault for not understanding rotations, but you should have at least like the most optimal play to the extent of your knowledge was to stay top. That's it. That was the killer right there. Do not group with your team. So he actually probably takes it. And you probably lose this one too, if I'm being honest. Yikers. Nah, you don't lose it. See, Nasus is literally a sponge. Like, he's part of the phylum of poor Pharaoh. Like, he doesn't have a brain. Like, he should have ulted. Like, let's say you were playing that. Let's say you lost lane to Darius, and he just fucked up because he's heart stuck gold 5, and now you get this free tower. You should ult this tower. Just ult for the Q, for the continuous Sheen procs on Q. But now, oh, look at that. This game is over. Like, there's nothing you can do now after that. A fuck up. Yep. This game is over. Victory. Good job. Proud of you. Okay, so let's review. So you played the lane pretty well, a Bling, a Nasus. Now you did it suboptimally, but you didn't do it terribly. Like I would have froze until I got black a cleaver, and then as soon as I noticed Fizz was starting to get big, Vayne was getting big, then I would have put my carry pants on and then just started shoving over and over again. Cue the wave, shove. Cue the wave, shove. If Nasus is a brain dead and he walks up to me for farm, then I combo him and I maybe kill him. And when I kill him, I smack tower. I smack tower around. And as a Darius, as a tank, you should never switch your yellow trinkets. I noticed you didn't buy a control ward either. A control ward here. Let's draw a Summoner's Rift. Let's see if you can see it. Hold on. Add window source. There we go. No, I can't add it. Whatever. Okay. So, you know that, so you spawn on the red side. The top side of their jungle is blue buff. You know that, right? And then that blue buff bush, like right at the very tippy edge of it, if you place a control ward right there, that gives you so much information. Like, you should have done that and just perma-split top. Because you didn't know how rotations work. That would have increased your odds of success. I'm not saying that game was unwinnable, but it would have increased your odds of success. So you didn't freeze, but you shoved. Oh, and you're shoving and continually killing Nasus over and over again. Only worked because he's literally a sponge. So you did that, and you got a black cleaver, and then you shoved like you were doing before, which as soon as you get black cleaver, you should be shoving anyways. So that was good. And then you got tower. That was good. And then where you fucked up was when you went to group. They got mid and bot tower, so they have wards and your jungle. Like, you can predict that pretty easily. So they see you coming. It wasn't a flank because it was warded, unless you had a sweeper lens, or in Oracle lens. But even then, it was a terrible play. You should have stayed you should have stayed top to pressure that at tier 2. Now, let's say you did know how rotations work. So you would have put Aurelion Soul top, or no, actually, well, Fizz can dive Aurelion Soul over and over again, and Aurelion Soul can just hold Nasus. So you put bot lane mid, you put Aurelion Soul top, and then you go bot to pressure that tier 1. And then you draw pressure, and then hopefully your bot can pressure the mid tier 1. Or, I mean, the Aurelion Soul, and then the Aurelion Soul can just shove lane past the midpoint, and then roam mid to group with your team and take a tier 1. Now, let's say you don't draw a pressure, and their team answers to your mid lane, or your bot lane, which is in the mid lane, pressuring a tier 1 mid, then you take tower for free, and then that's it in objective in the books. So that was what should have gone down. So to sum it up, you played lane relatively well. I would have froze. and then after you got Black Cleaver, you shoved, which is good. You got tower, and then you should have stayed top. If if you didn't rotate, you should have stayed top. So yeah, that's it.